What if the respect you seek from the world is not something you can ever ask for, but only something you can earn in silence? What if the most powerful people are not those who demand respect, but those whose character commands it effortlessly? True respect is a shadow. It follows a person of substance. Win respect without ever asking for it. Compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Unshakable principles. Forge quiet power. Imagine a massive planet, hanging silent and serene in the blackness of space. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply exists, a perfect sphere held together by its own immense, dense core. And yet, by the silent, invisible force of its own gravity, it holds moons in a perfect, loyal orbit. It commands this devotion not through any action, but through the sheer, unshakable fact of its own internal mass and stability. The planet's principles, the laws of physics that govern its core, are the source of its quiet, inescapable power. Your character is that planet. Your principles are its core. This brings us to a deep and painful inner conflict that many of us face. We want to be respected. We want our words to have weight, our presence to be felt, and our person to be valued. The problem statement is this. We often go about seeking respect in ways that guarantee we will never receive it. We try to earn it through performance, by being the funniest person, the most successful, the most agreeable. Or worse, we try to demand it, becoming angry or defensive when we feel slighted. We are like a small asteroid, shouting at moons to orbit us. This energy of seeking and demanding is a broadcast of neediness, and neediness is the opposite of a respectable, powerful force. It repels the very thing we crave. The transformative solution is to stop seeking respect entirely, and to focus instead on the one thing that creates it naturally, building a character of unshakable principles. You must become the planet, focusing all your energy on developing your own dense, stable inner core. The core idea is that respect is a gravitational force. It is not something you can pull toward you. It is something that is naturally drawn to a person of immense inner mass. This mass is your unwavering commitment to a clear set of personal principles, your non-negotiable code of conduct for yourself. A person whose actions are consistently guided by a strong inner code radiates a quiet power that commands respect without ever having to ask for it. This is the very foundation of the Stoic path to a good life. The Stoics believed that the only true good was virtue, and the only true project of a human being was to live in accordance with a clear set of virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. They knew that a man of principle is like a well-built sphere. He is the same from every angle. This consistency, this integrity, is what creates the gravitational pull of genuine respect. To begin the work of forging your inner core, you must first define your principles. For the next week, your task is to become the architect of your own character. You will take out a journal and dedicate time to answering one question. What are my unshakable principles? You will choose 3 or 4 virtues that you want to be the bedrock of your character. Perhaps they are honesty, discipline, and compassion. Then, for each principle, you will write a short, active definition. For example, honesty. I will speak the truth, even when it is difficult. I will not deceive myself or others. Discipline. I will do what I said I would do, long after the mood I said it in has left. This act of defining your principles is the first step to making them real. You are drawing the blueprint for your own planetary core. The profound benefit of this practice is that it will begin to bring a powerful coherence to your life. Your decisions will become simpler because you will have a clear filter through which to pass them. This consistency between your stated values and your actions will build a deep and unshakable form of self-respect, which is the only foundation upon which the respect of others can be built. You will stop being the noisy asteroid and start becoming the silent, powerful planet. A powerful core is silent but steady, but its power is most visible in how it reacts to external forces. In our next lesson, we will learn how calm reactions command instant authority. If you are ready to build your core, declare it in the comments below. I am building my core. Your commitment to this foundational work gives strength to our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel, like this video, and share your thoughts to help us grow. Lesson 2. Calm reactions. Command instant authority. Imagine again our wise and powerful king, seated on his throne. A frantic messenger bursts into the court, shouting that a neighboring kingdom has betrayed them and an army is marching on their borders. The court erupts into a panic. Advisors shout for immediate retaliation. Generals call for a reckless, head-on charge. The room is a storm of fear and anger. The foolish king would be swept up in this storm, his own face red with rage, his voice joining the chorus of panic. The wise king, however, remains a pillar of calm. He listens to the reports, he observes the panic of his courtiers, but his own inner state remains as still as a frozen lake. His calm reaction in the face of chaos is a stunning display of power. It silently communicates that he is not afraid, that he is in control, and that the storm outside has not breached the walls of his own mind. This calm does not just display authority, it creates it. This brings us to a critical inner conflict. We want to be seen as authoritative and in control, yet when faced with a provocative situation, an insult, a challenge, a crisis, we often do the exact opposite. The problem statement is that our emotional overreactions are a broadcast of powerlessness. When you lose your temper, when your voice cracks with anxiety, when you become defensive and flustered, you are sending a clear signal to everyone around you. I am not in control of myself. Therefore, I am not in control of this situation. Your emotional outburst, which your ego tells you is a display of strength, is actually a confession of weakness. It proves to the world that your inner peace is so fragile that a few careless words from another person can shatter it completely. The transformative solution is to master the art of the calm reaction. You must train yourself to become the king who meets the panic of his court with an unshakable and profound stillness. The core idea is that in any human interaction, the person with the most emotional control is the one with the most power. By refusing to participate in the emotional chaos of a situation, you automatically elevate yourself above it. Your calm becomes a powerful vacuum that drains the energy from the other person's anger or anxiety. They are forced to either calm down to meet your level or to reveal themselves as the only irrational person in the room. In either case, you have commanded the situation without ever raising your voice. This is the Stoic ideal of the sage in action. The Stoics trained to be indifferent to insults and provocations, not because they were unfeeling, but because they understood that a calm response is a strategic masterstroke. It preserves your own inner peace, it de-escalates conflict, and it demonstrates a level of self-mastery that is far more intimidating and worthy of respect than any angry outburst could ever be. To begin your training in this royal discipline, you must practice the anchor and observe technique. For the next week, whenever you find yourself in a situation where you feel your emotional temperature starting to rise, you will perform a two-step maneuver. First, you will anchor. You will bring your full attention to a physical sensation in your body, the feeling of your feet flat on the floor, or the sensation of your hands resting on your legs. This simple act grounds you in the present moment and pulls your attention away from the storm in your head. Second, you will observe. You will observe your own rising emotion with the detached curiosity of a scientist. You will say to yourself, there is the feeling of anger. How interesting. My heart rate is increasing. There is a tightness in my jaw. By narrating the experience instead of fusing with it, you create a critical space of awareness. You are no longer the emotion. You are the observer of the emotion. This allows you to let the first wave of chaotic energy pass through you without carrying you away. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to feel a new sense of power over your own emotional state. You will stop being a victim of your own reactions and start becoming the calm master of them. Your presence will become a source of stability and strength for others, and you will command a new, deeper level of respect. The kind that is given to the calm king, not the panicked courtier. Calm reactions are the shield of a powerful presence, but this presence is solidified by the silent lines we draw around ourselves. In our next lesson, we will discover that boundaries built in silence speak the loudest. If you are ready to command authority through calm, declare it in the comments below. My calm is my command. Your commitment to this practice brings a powerful stillness to our community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue your training in the art of kingship. Lesson 3. Boundaries built in silence. Speak loudest. Imagine the atmosphere of a great planet. It is a silent, invisible boundary, a force field that extends for thousands of miles. Its primary function is protection. It silently and effortlessly burns up the thousands of meteors and asteroids that threaten the planet every single day. It does not announce its presence. It does not argue with the meteors. It does not get angry at them. Its boundary is so absolute, so clear, and so consistently enforced that its defense is a silent, automatic process. The strength of the atmosphere is not in its noise, but in the quiet, unyielding power of its existence. Your personal boundaries should be like this atmosphere. This brings us to a common inner conflict. We know we should have boundaries, but we are often afraid to set them and enforce them. The problem statement is this. We often believe that setting a boundary requires a loud, confrontational, and dramatic conversation. We rehearse angry speeches in our head. We prepare for a fight. This fear of a noisy confrontation is often what prevents us from setting the boundary at all. We tolerate disrespect, we allow our time to be wasted, and we let others encroach on our peace because we are avoiding the battle of setting a boundary. We are the planet with a weak, thin atmosphere, constantly being pelted by the debris of other people's demands and disrespect. The transformative solution is to understand that the strongest boundaries are not built with loud words, but with quiet actions. You must learn to build your boundaries in silence. The core idea is that a boundary is not a request you make of another person. It is a rule you set for yourself. The most powerful boundaries are not those you announce, but those you simply embody. When you quietly and consistently refuse to engage with disrespect, when you simply stop making yourself available for things that drain your energy, when you act in accordance with your own priorities, you are building a powerful, silent force field around yourself. Others will sense this atmosphere. They will learn that certain types of behavior simply burn up upon entry into your space. The Stoics were masters of this silent boundary setting. Their boundaries were not based on emotional demands, "You need to treat me better," but on rational principles. "I will not participate in gossip," or "I will not be swayed by flattery." They enforced these boundaries not by arguing, but by simply living them. Their actions spoke so loudly and so consistently that their words were often unnecessary. To begin building your silent atmosphere, you must practice the action-first boundary. For the next week, identify one area where your boundary is weak. Instead of planning a big conversation about it, you will plan one small, silent action of enforcement. For example, if a certain person consistently drains you with negative complaining, your action is not to tell them to stop. Your silent action is to politely end the conversation after 5 minutes. You can say, "It was good talking to you, but I have to go now." You do this calmly and consistently, every single time. If a colleague tries to dump their work on you, your silent action is not to complain about them, but to state, calmly and without a long story, "I am not able to take that on right now." You are not making a request, you are stating a fact. You are acting as the atmosphere, silently and impersonally enforcing the line. The profound benefit of this practice is that it removes the fear and drama from setting boundaries. You will find that you can protect your time and energy with a new, effortless grace. The right people will respect your silent strength, and the meteors, the users and manipulators, will find your atmosphere inhospitable and will naturally drift away. You are building a powerful, protective field around yourself without ever having to raise your voice. Boundaries protect our kingdom. Now we must turn our attention to the state of the ruler himself. In our next lesson, we will explore how true self-mastery radiates a natural form of dominance. If you are ready to build your silent defense, declare it in the comments below. My actions are my boundaries. Your commitment to this principle helps our entire community build a stronger atmosphere. Remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel and continue your journey. Lesson 4. Self-mastery radiates natural dominance. Imagine again our planet, a perfect sphere held in shape by its own immense gravity. Its perfect form is not an accident. It is the natural result of its own power pulling everything equally toward its strong, stable center. It does not try to be a sphere, it simply is one. Its harmonious shape is an outward expression of its inner coherence. Now imagine an asteroid, a jagged, chaotic, and unbalanced rock tumbling through space. It has no strong gravitational core, and so it has no harmonious form. The planet's spherical shape is a natural dominance born of self-mastery. The asteroid's chaotic shape is a sign of its lack of an inner center. This illustrates a powerful inner conflict. We want to be seen as strong, confident, and even dominant in the best sense of the word, as masters of our own lives. The problem statement is this: we often chase a false, brittle version of dominance that is based on controlling others, on being the loudest in the room, or on intimidating people. This is the way of the asteroid: chaotic, unbalanced, and ultimately weak. This kind of dominance is a performance, an act, and it comes from a place of deep insecurity. It requires constant effort and creates resentment and resistance in others. It is not true power. The transformative solution is to understand that true, natural dominance is not about controlling others. It is a radiant byproduct of mastering yourself. You must seek to become the planet, not the asteroid. The core idea is that when you achieve a high degree of self-mastery, when you have control over your emotions, your focus, and your impulses, you begin to radiate an energy of coherence and power that is naturally influential. This is not an aggressive force. It is a quiet, gravitational pull. People feel your inner stability, your lack of neediness, your profound self-possession, and they are naturally inclined to defer to your judgment and respect your presence. You dominate your environment not by trying to, but by first having achieved complete dominance over yourself. The Stoics called this living in harmony with your own nature. They believed that a mind ruled by reason and virtue is the most powerful and well-ordered state a human can achieve. The man who has mastered himself no longer needs to prove anything to anyone. His mastery is self-evident in his calm demeanor, his thoughtful words, and his consistent actions. This is the source of a natural, unforced authority that others find compelling and trustworthy. To begin the practice of building this inner coherence, you must focus on the chain of mastery. For the next week, your task is to choose one small area of your life where you lack self-mastery. A small, bad habit. It could be the habit of complaining, the habit of procrastinating on a small daily task, or the habit of eating an unhealthy snack at a certain time of day. Your mission for 7 days is to break the chain of this one small habit. Every time you are faced with the choice, you will deliberately choose the path of self-mastery over the path of impulse. This is a private battle. No one else needs to know about it, but with each small victory, you are sending a powerful message to your own subconscious mind. I am in command here. You are pulling one more jagged piece of your own asteroid into a harmonious, spherical alignment. The profound benefit of this practice is that these small, private victories in self-mastery build upon each other, creating a powerful foundation of authentic self-confidence. You will start to carry yourself differently. You will feel a new sense of inner alignment and power. This is the source of the quiet, natural dominance that commands respect without ever asking for it. You are no longer the chaotic asteroid. You are becoming the powerful, harmonious planet. Self-mastery creates a powerful inner state. Now we must learn to translate that state into clear and effective action in the world. In our next lesson, we will explore how decisive action silences all doubt. If you are ready to begin mastering yourself, declare it in the comments below. I will master myself. Your commitment to this path helps our entire community find its center. Please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue your journey. Lesson 5. Decisive action silences all doubt. Imagine the planet in its orbit around the sun. Its path is a perfect ellipse, a journey of immense, silent, and decisive momentum. The planet does not hesitate. It does not wobble. It does not doubt its course. It moves with an unyielding purpose that is breathtaking to behold. Its action is so clean, so committed, and so powerful that it silences all questions. There is no room for doubt in the face of such profound and decisive momentum. This is the power of action born from a centered and mastered self. This brings us to a common inner conflict that can paralyze even the most self-aware individuals. We do our inner work, we cultivate our calm, we define our principles, but when the moment to act arrives, we hesitate. We are plagued by self-doubt, by analysis paralysis, by a fear of making the wrong choice. The problem statement is this: hesitation and indecisiveness are a broadcast of weakness, and they destroy the respect we have worked so hard to build. A leader who cannot make a decision, a person who is constantly second-guessing themselves, radiates an energy of uncertainty that makes others feel insecure and lose confidence in them. Doubt is a form of inner noise that contaminates our actions and undermines our power. The transformative solution is to learn to act with the decisive force of a planet in its orbit. After you have done your silent, internal work of observation and deliberation, you must commit to your chosen course of action with a clean and total resolve. The core idea is that a good plan, decisively executed, is far better than a perfect plan that never leaves the drawing board. Decisive action is a powerful statement of self-trust. It communicates to yourself and to the world that you have confidence in your own judgment. This commitment silences the inner voices of doubt and the outer voices of criticism. Momentum is the ultimate antidote to doubt. The Stoics were men of action. They believed that the entire purpose of their philosophy was to produce better, more effective, and more virtuous actions in the world. They did not value endless contemplation for its own sake. They valued contemplation as a necessary prelude to wise and decisive action. Once a decision was made in accordance with reason, they committed to it fully, accepting the outcome with equanimity. They understood that the power was in the quality of the decision and the commitment to the action, not in the guaranteed success of the outcome. To begin this practice, you must learn to commit and burn the ships. For the next week, your task is to identify one decision you have been hesitating on. It could be a small decision at work or a larger one in your personal life. You will give yourself a final, specific time frame for deliberation, e.g., I will think about this for one more day. After that time is up, you will make the decision. Once you have made it, you will take a symbolic action to burn the ships, a reference to the conquerors who would burn their ships upon arriving in a new land, leaving no option for retreat. This symbolic action could be sending the email that commits you to the project, making the phone call that sets the plan in motion, or deleting the other options from your list. It is a physical act that signifies your total commitment to your chosen path. From that moment on, you will pour all of your focused energy into executing that decision to the best of your ability, without looking back and without second-guessing. The profound benefit of this practice is that it will free you from the exhausting prison of indecision. You will find that taking decisive action, even if the outcome is uncertain, feels infinitely more powerful than lingering in a state of doubt. You will build a reputation as a person of action and resolve, which will earn you immense respect. You are no longer the hesitant wanderer. You are the planet, moving with silent, unstoppable, and decisive force. Decisive action is powerful, but it must be tempered with humility to be truly magnetic. In our next lesson, we will explore how to develop a presence that is free from the repellent force of ego. If you are ready to act with decision, declare it in the comments below. I will burn the ships. Your commitment to action gives our entire community momentum. Remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue your journey. Lesson 6. Presence without ego earns loyalty. Let us return to our image of the massive, silent planet. Its gravitational pull, the source of its influence, comes from its mass, its very substance. It has no ego. It has no need to be seen as important or powerful. It simply is, and its presence is enough. Now imagine a flashing, noisy comet, a temporary spectacle of gas and ice. It might be bright and dramatic for a short time, demanding attention with its brilliant tail. But it is all surface, with very little core. Its influence is fleeting. The comet is a metaphor for a presence driven by ego. The planet is a presence rooted in a quiet, ego-less strength. Which one earns true, lasting loyalty? This illustrates a subtle but profound inner conflict. We want to have a strong, influential presence, but we often contaminate that presence with our ego. The problem statement is this: an ego-driven presence is inherently repellent and cannot earn true loyalty. When we act from our ego, our primary motivation is to look good, to be right, to prove our worth, or to feel superior. Others can sense this motivation instantly. It makes them feel like a prop in our personal drama, rather than a valued person in their own right. It creates a feeling of competition, not connection. An ego-driven leader may get compliance through fear or charisma, but they will never earn the deep, unshakable loyalty that is reserved for a person who makes others feel seen and respected. The transformative solution is to cultivate a presence without ego. You must learn to separate your true self from the noisy, needy voice of your ego. The core idea is that your greatest strength is not in being impressive, but in being present. A presence without ego is one that is focused entirely outward, on the other person or on the situation at hand, rather than inward on one's own performance. It is the ability to listen without thinking about what you will say next. It is the ability to admit you are wrong. It is the ability to celebrate the success of others without feeling diminished. This kind of egoless presence is incredibly rare and therefore incredibly magnetic. It makes people feel safe, valued, and inspired. The Stoics were relentless in their war against the ego. They saw it as the source of most of our emotional disturbances and foolish actions. They practiced humility not as a form of weakness, but as a form of wisdom, a recognition of one's true place in the vast cosmos. A man without ego is like the planet. He is so solid in his own being that he has no need to puff himself up. To begin this practice of dissolving the ego, you must learn to shine the light outward. For the next week, your mission in every conversation is to make the other person the star of the show. You will ask genuine, curious questions about them and their experiences. You will listen to their answers with your full, focused attention. You will actively look for opportunities to acknowledge their strengths or to celebrate their successes. During this process, you will feel your ego screaming for attention. It will want to interrupt with your own, better story. It will want to correct their opinion. It will feel a pang of jealousy at their success. Your practice is to simply notice this voice of ego and to deliberately choose to keep the spotlight on the other person. You are training yourself to find satisfaction not in being interesting, but in being interested. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will forge incredibly strong and loyal connections with the people in your life. They will feel deeply respected by you, and they will give you their respect and loyalty in return, freely and without reservation. You will discover the paradox that the less you try to be impressive, the more impressive you become. You are no longer the flashy comet demanding a glance. You are the silent planet, earning a lifetime of loyal orbit. An egoless presence is the sign of a person who is strong from within. In our final lesson, we will explore how this inner strength becomes a lasting legacy. If you are ready to let go of your ego, declare it in the comments below. I will shine the light outward. Your commitment to this practice helps to illuminate our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 7. Legacy grows from inner strength. Imagine a distant star, a blazing sun in a far-off galaxy. The light that reaches our eyes tonight began its journey millions of years ago, born from the incredible thermonuclear furnace of the star's powerful core. The star itself may have already died, its physical form gone, but the light, the energy, the legacy of its inner strength continues to travel across the cosmos, providing guidance and wonder long after its source has vanished. The legacy of a person is like the light of a star. It is the radiation of an inner strength that travels far beyond a single lifetime. This is the final and most profound lesson in our journey to win respect. The inner conflict we face is that we often think of our legacy in terms of the external things we will leave behind. the money, the accomplishments, the monuments. The problem statement is this: a legacy built on external achievements is a fragile and fleeting thing. Fortunes can be lost, records can be broken, and monuments can crumble to dust. If our sense of leaving a meaningful mark on the world is tied only to these things, we are building on sand. We are the star that shines brightly but briefly, and is soon forgotten. The transformative solution is to understand that a true legacy grows from inner strength. You must focus on building a character so virtuous, so resilient, so full of wisdom and integrity that its influence becomes your legacy. The core idea is that the most powerful thing you can leave behind is not what you have, but who you were. The way you handled adversity, the principles you lived by, the courage you showed, the kindness you extended. These are the things that create a powerful ripple effect in the lives of your children, your friends, your colleagues, and your community. This is the starlight. It is the legacy of your character, and it has the power to travel through generations. This is the ultimate ambition of a Stoic life. Marcus Aurelius did not seek to be remembered for his military victories, but for his struggle to be a good man. His greatest legacy is not the Roman Empire, but his private journal, the Meditations, a testament to his inner strength that has guided and inspired people for 2 millennia. He built a star, not just an empire, and its light still reaches us. To begin this final practice, you must become the architect of your echo. Your final task is a thought experiment of immense power. You will take out your journal and you will write your own eulogy. You will imagine that you are at the end of a long and well-lived life. What would you want a loved one to say about the person you were? What virtues would they mention? What impact did your character have on them? Do not write about your job title or the size of your bank account. Write about your integrity, your courage, your resilience, your kindness. This eulogy is not a morbid exercise. It is the ultimate blueprint for a life of meaning. It is the definition of the starlight you want to send out into the world. You will then take this eulogy and distill it into a single sentence that will become your guiding principle. For example, he was a man who met every challenge with courage and treated every person with dignity. This principle now becomes your life's great work. The profound benefit of this practice is that it will give your life a new and profound sense of direction and meaning. It clarifies what truly matters. It will guide your daily actions and decisions as you will begin to ask yourself, is this action consistent with the man described in my eulogy? You will stop living for fleeting pleasures and start living for a lasting legacy. You are no longer just living day to day. You are building the inner furnace of a great star, a source of light that will shine long after you are gone. From forging your principles to building your legacy, you now hold the keys to winning respect without ever asking for it. You know that true power is quiet, true authority is calm, and a lasting legacy grows from the bedrock of your inner strength. This is the path of the Stoic. Thank you for walking this path of deep and meaningful work. Your commitment to building a life of substance is what truly commands respect and inspires us all. If this journey has empowered you, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue building your inner legacy.